Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And congratulations, it's Aries season. We have reached the astrological new year, and I picked a yellow shirt today without even thinking about it, and then went to do the whole Instagram, I'm gonna go live, do you want to come and join me thing? And was like, OMG, I'm literally on fire for Aries season. So a Leo and an Aries, I feel the energy very strongly. Although I don't have Aries in my chart, I always have Aries in my lives, or Aries rising, or Aries moons, or Aries all around me. Just as much as I have Cancers in my life. Anyway, I have an interesting, fun life, and very interesting and fun friends. How is everybody? It is the one day a week that I am live now on YouTube for all of the people. If you are wondering where I am on the other days when I used to be here all the time and you don't know, I have a members only portion of the site now where you can catch 1 to 2 more extra readings a week. It's usually 2 more, but last week was busy because I did a festival this weekend and was in person with people. And honestly, I've never done a vendor booth like that before, and it was really fun. And I'll probably do it again sometime, and hopefully in your town, and you can come and see me. But it was great, and I had an interesting experience of having a lot of people who had never had readings sit down, and a lot of masculine energy that I got to read, which was very fun because I'm usually reading masculine energy for feminines, but I got to read feminine energy for masculines. It was totally different. Um, Anyway, I digress. You know why you're here, and if you don't, let me tell you. We are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others and in our external environment. And if we want to see changes, we have to shift the energy within us. So if we're like, why are these people doing these things to me? We have to, first of all, remove ourselves from these people because that's not okay. And then we have to be like, wait, have I accepted this before? When? How long have I been doing that? When did that start? And can I change my thinking about that and change the decisions I make about the people who are around me and the places I go and the work that I do so that I can not have these experiences anymore? And it's not like a blame the victim type thing. It's be empowered because you can trace the patterns of how this started and you can stop it. Okay, so that's kind of how I want you to look at it. Because we all are given a certain amount of tools we have to use to get through all of our experiences, and there's really no shame. You can't get it wrong, and you'll never get it done, as Abraham Hicks says. So you come here to these live readings for a reason, and I would love for you to just reflect upon that reason right now. There's a message that you would like to hear, maybe multiple messages you would like to hear that you think would make you feel better. People come here for all different reasons. It can be relationships, it can be their spiritual journey, just wanting to learn more about themselves. It can be about seeking a shift or a change in your life or towards a new career or passion of yours, interest. Whatever it is that you think would make you feel walked away from this reading, just hold that in your mind for just a moment. I think I would feel better if I heard typical. Okay, I like to think about what I want to hear. All right, that is what you think you hear is what you actually need. Oh, I was pretty good. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles. I was like, show me the money, but not really that in that way. But that's what this card is like. It's like, hey, it's time for you to see the money. It's time for you to see your value. It's time for you to understand your worth, what you bring to the table, how abundant, how prosperous, how creative you are, how all of those things are gifts that you've been given. And hopefully, you are finding a way to express these gifts, to offer them to others, to give them to others. And it's about receiving these things from others as well. So, this is what you actually need, and it includes wealth and prosperity. And I don't hate that. Let us get started, shall we? All right, we're going to start with divine masculine side of self today because he had 3 cards showing and the divine feminine only had 2. Okay, Divine Masculine, top of the deck, overall headspace. We are using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. And the first card out the gate is very Aries. It's the Son of Swords or the Knight of Swords. And it is a fast moving energy. It's not quite as bold and fiery because we're looking at an air energy here, but this is definitely swift and it's direct communication. It is not holding yourself back, but actually just going for it. You probably have a strategy that's been created by the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords has placed you where you need to go and commanded you to go forth and speak directly the truth, and cut away anything that doesn't serve you, that isn't in alignment with your authentic truth. That's where the Divine Masculine headspace is right away. I want to go. I want to tell the truth. I want to communicate. I've learned. I have a lot of wisdom, and I'm following a very solid plan to do this. Well, welcome. Come on in, Divine Masculine. The water's fine. All right, let me flip over these cards because I always forget that when I do the check-in that I actually see all the cards. Boring. Not really. Okay, let me see. Interesting how this actually allows me to place all these cards in a pattern. Ooh, my slight OCD, my very light side of OCD that I suffer from, enjoys this. Okay, here we go. So, top of the deck then, that Divine Masculine's got the Knight of Swords. He's coming in. He wants to tell you stuff, and he's got a plan. Okay, great. The bottom of the deck, the niggling thing that's underlying all of his thoughts and decisions, the Nine of Cups. So what is he racing forward to tell you? Well, it must be the thing that's underlying all of his thoughts and decisions. It is that you are his wish fulfillment. Something about the emotional side of self, whether that is love or creativity, creating something, like music or poetry or a book, expressing emotional, just the feelings, fully expressing and really, really having a lot of them. That's what we're looking at. So the Nine of Cups has an element of selfishness and hoarding and withholding in it. And so there is this urge to tell, and underlying everything, the urge to keep it to the self, because if you tell too soon, you're going to spoil things. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. But this is the card of wish fulfillment. And if the Divine Masculine wishes to express himself, as we're seeing, we know that he's going to get his wish. It's just a little bit of a struggle. The first thing on his mind, the Tower. Now, this is what he's carrying in, right? This is what he carries in information about. And it looks shocking. And of course, the Tower is a divine intervention card. And so my guides are telling me that the divine has intervened here against that Nine of Cups energy that this masculine holds onto with his grasping hands and ripped it away somehow. Like there's no room left for you to be withholding anymore. The truth must be revealed, even if it is shocking. And this can be also a card that's indicating movement. So moving to a new place, having been in the process of that, having released the stability from the past, and most likely that sword is containing information about what the Tower was, because it's not in the current energy. It's what happened. Then we're getting the Temperance card in reverse. This is a card about satisfaction, harmony, alchemizing, healing, protection. It's associated with being patient or impatient at times, but I feel that's very limiting because this card is about emotional regulation in general. So it's about regulating your emotions in when you're waiting for something to happen, when you're waiting for alchemizing to take place. So it's not just impatience, it's all of that. It's like resentment or wrath or jealousy or sadness or excessive happiness, like ecstasy. It's balancing all of those things. And I do think the information that you're going to hear is probably about what has been taking place behind the scenes in terms of healing. What sort of divine intervention was at play? What prevented this masculine energy from being able to move in the direction he wanted to go? And it likely could have had something to do with some kind of an addiction. And an addiction does not have to be to a substance, but it could have been. It is likely not just to a substance. It is likely a general addiction to numbing behaviors. And then we're getting the 5 of Pentacles in the transverse position. For me, this is the poverty consciousness that the masculine has, because this is in the headspace. It's on its way out, but it's lingering. And it's likely some of the shocking information has to do with financial situations, devastating ones that caused so much lack that this masculine could not, like, he felt he could not move forward in his life. If somebody took from him, if he lost things in his life, then that 9 of Cups is indicating this is why he holds on to things so tightly now, because he doesn't want to risk losing his fortune again. But primarily, I think the information that he wants to tell you is that he is incredibly impoverished, shockingly so, maybe in excessive amounts of debt, or in some kind of financial trouble that he has not wanted to burden you with, and in fact was trying to heal on his own without involving you. It is likely that this financial devastation is coming from a legal matter. So this can be anything. It can be a divorce contract that is, causing him to have to pay a lot of money to an ex-partner and for children. It can be a contract that he had with a corporation or a company, a work contract suddenly ending, losing a job, losing something, losing a battle in regards to debt, also like having debts called in, or something serious like taxes, tax evasion. There's definitely something in his past that really prevented him from coming forward. It's likely that it was an addictive. This could be gambling debts as well, because with the Temperance card in reverse, it's like not being able to control an addiction to gambling, or and that actually does look like that very much could be what has happened, because the next card coming up is the Wheel of Fortune. And that's what is underneath the Temperance card. But this is upright right now. So is the Justice card. So, and the next card that's coming up also is good to me. So I am not seeing that this person is currently in an energy of squalor, but has been in serious financial difficulties of some kind, and has not been able to sort of get the wheel to turn in his favor in quite a while. And in fact, probably experienced karmic retribution, which affected his finances. And what he really wants to tell you is how this energy has really destabilized him to the point where he does not feel financially capable of protecting and providing. And this is the information he's going to reveal, that because this is the star and the star is revealing something hidden. This is also about wish fulfillment and the 9 of Cups. So I do feel that because of this transverse Five of Pentacles, where you were kept out in the cold because of this situation, I do think he's going to come and say, despite all this, I still love you. You are my star. I hope for you. I hope for this transformation. I hope that I can change my ways. I want to try. And will you allow it, kind of a thing. And you have to answer that for yourself. That's the headspace. That's what he's thinking about. The top of the deck. Hang on one second. I just need to answer this message. Doing online list. Okay. So top of the deck, overall heart space for the masculine energy is not surprisingly the Nine of Swords. And the reason that's not surprising is because we just looked at a headspace that is in a lot of turmoil, thinking about the mistakes that have been made, the addictions that have prevented connection, affection, kept each other in the cold, the financial situation. Those are all things that would make you feel anxious if you're thinking about them. Hi there. So we're seeing all these dark thoughts in the masculine's head. Just so you know, this is a collective reading and I don't answer specific questions. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the link is below. You can catch me on Sundays or Saturdays live with Grace Strega. Otherwise, my readings are on around 7 p.m. Pacific Coast time, occasionally on TikTok, and those are $11, $22, and $33 readings. But you'll get a lot of information if you're going to ask a question about almost career or your person, because this is looking at the divine masculine side of self, and we will look at the feminine side of self and do a lot of healing cards. So you're welcome to stay, and you'll probably get a lot of information from it. Everyone has a feminine and masculine energy inside of themselves. So that's how you have that energy within you. So the Nine of Swords is about now this anxiety, all this financial worries, not being able to come forward to the feminine because of that. And it's just a lot of dark thoughts that are keeping him up at night, and he's restless. He's also extremely nervous about just coming in and communicating these things. He already feels like divine feminine has experienced a nightmare. And it's like he knows that she thinks that hearing from him will wake her up from this nightmare. But in some ways, he just feels like when he reveals to her that he doesn't have any stability, he doesn't really have, remember, the focus of this reading is this Ace of Pentacles. What he brings to the table in his headspace doesn't look so good. So he's really concerned that she's just not going to want anything to do with him because he has ruined things in his mind. Like he's ruined things. I'm getting the sense that Tower is like a ruin. So there's anxiety here. The niggling feeling in his heart space is this Eight of Pentacles, which is the divine feminine actually working. And so he is afraid that the divine feminine is going to have to focus on the material because he can't provide for her. And he doesn't want her to have to do this. He wants her to be able to be creative and abundant and share in all of this wish fulfillment that he has. But because of what his head is telling him about his finances, he's feeling like he can't give divine feminine this freedom and liberation to pursue her dreams that he wants to give her. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking that this is about this person, this masculine person that you're focused on, it's possible that that person is having those feelings. But at this point in the reading, it's better for you to start to ask, how am I like that within myself? And so for me, my example is that I am a musician and I've been working on this record for many years. And most recently in the last year, I have this full plan and I need to finish. And I feel like I need money to do that. And I feel like I don't have enough money to do that. And so generally, I have this feeling that I have to work a lot in order to make money, in order to pursue my dreams. And I want to just be free to make the record and perform it and do this work for you and do these readings, and without having to get any other type of work that's going to take my energy and focus away from my heart or my passion. And that's how the divine masculine feels. He wants to be able to free you from this obligation to have to work on mundane tasks so that you can focus on your creativity, on what makes you feel love. And he wants to show you love in this way, because that is how the masculine energy has been taught to show love, is through this material provision. Clarifying the Tower. Ooh. Interesting. I think that card reversed when it fell. So, and I don't have many reversals in this deck, so that's probably why it happened. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Gosh, this deck, or just in general, when I do these readings, it's crazy. So clarifying this Tower card in the headspace, where the divine masculine is thinking about this shocking information about why he didn't come forward, is exactly what I said. The shocking information about why he didn't come forward. This was upright and just fell on the floor to be in reverse, to show us that these are the reasons that he was wishy-washy, that he wanted to come forward, but he couldn't, but he wanted to, but he couldn't, but he really did want to because he loves you, but he couldn't tell you, but he wanted to, but he couldn't. This behavior, this is what caused the crumbling between the two of you. And this is what caused, and the information that he's going to tell you is also going to be uncomfortable, because it's going to be this information that he literally was trying to hide from you so that you wouldn't doubt his ability to protect and provide, because he wants to present that option to you. It's not going to feel good coming in and being like, oh, can I get a handout? He wants to be a source of strength in the relationship, not a weakness. So that's really important to him. And then look what we have. The Ace of Pentacles, which, as I showed you, was the very first card that we pulled as the theme of this reading of what we actually need. So, and look at how similar it looks. And I have so many different decks, and the Thoth Tarot is not one that really resembles a lot of other decks. And there's such a union there that I really feel profound that this divine masculine has been doing that healing so that his worthiness is felt in his heart space. And it's been difficult for his head to embrace that he has healed and that he does offer a lot to this union, because he is so focused on the pentacle, the material. He forgot like that what he offers is much more than that. And that when you offer love and you come in a state of love towards your person, you are opening up the floodgates of abundance, because you are in a feeling place where you can tune into the abundance that is there. Clarifying this lack of abundance, the Five of Pentacles, that is, again, it's turning around, but it's still turning around. We're still in the process, which is why the information he's bringing is shocking. This is what he fears will cause you to put up a guard against him, because this is the Seven of Wands. He knows you're very centered. He knows you're very balanced and that you're very grounded in yourself. And he fears that when he comes forward and says, look, I want to be with you, but I don't have a nickel to my name, a penny. Like, I've really got nothing in the material to offer you. I'm on borrowed time and borrowed dollars. And I'm in the process of resurrecting myself from this mess, but I don't want to drag you through that. He feels that because you have established this self-worth, that you will put your guard up against this energy and be like, yeah, I'm sorry. I need somebody that really can feel stable and secure in themselves and in their material well-being. I want somebody that has more or something. Like that is his fear. That's, part of this anxiety. We're seeing him feeling these dark thoughts. And that you have been maintaining healthy boundaries against any energy that leaves you in the cold. So he knows if he doesn't fully express to you, there's no getting in. He has to tell you the truth, or you aren't going to entertain anything from him. And this is also about him really wanting to fight for the connection. He wants to fight to bring you out of the cold, despite his actions that put you there in the first place. And then I can't really make it up. Clarifying this Justice card is the Star. And we already saw the Star. It was what he was going to be doing, was revealing this truth, this hope that you will still be with him, even though he's a pauper, materially and somewhat spiritually as well, because of this, the Temperance card being in reverse. That's also suggesting that he feels spiritually destitute in some ways. And the Five of Pentacles is about that sanctuary and spiritual destitution and separation. So he is definitely needing healing. We're seeing the Star is he's hoping that he can balance the scales between you. And he's been holding out this wish that this justice would be possible between the two of you now that whatever legal decision has been made. Clarifying this Wheel of Fortune is the Three of Pentacles. And so we do see him working to restore his material well-being, changing his behavior, and wanting now to collaborate in partnership with you. And that's why I'm seeing this turning of that Five of Pentacles. That's why it came out transverse, because this is transforming. He's no longer going to be in a state of destitution, either spiritually, physically, in materially, in relationship. No, he's working to change the behaviors that have kept him there, because he has prayed and hoped and healed. And hope is a conduit for miracles. So there is a miracle here. And to emphasize that, clarifying the Star and this Emperor, this headspace of thinking that he's not worthy and really needing to heal, that is the Sun, which is that inner child healing. It's joyful and blissful. And so he knows that as soon as he tells you all these things, and that this is in his past, and that he has changed and worked on these things, and that he now has a solid offer to bring to the table, if he can put aside his fears that you won't accept him or embrace him, he'll be able to feel joy with you and give you the joy that you've been seeking. Which is a beautiful energy. All right, we're going to come back and take a look at the oracles, but let's move on to the Divine Feminine. I have to be kind of peppy today because I have an obligation we have support group for the Spiritual Nourishment course. There's a Spiritual Nourishment course I offer that's self-directed, and we have support group 2 times a month, and we're having that today at 2 p.m. So if you're part of Spiritual Nourishment, you're welcome to join us. Just let me know in the comments so I can make sure to include you. All right. The top of the deck, overall headspace for the Divine Feminine, is the Seven of Swords in reverse. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. The Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is an interesting energy, because this is a card about protecting yourself from success. It can be about setting up boundaries. It can be about not having boundaries when you need them. It's also about being trapped in a mental prison. And that's what I think this is about today. And it's releasing this imprisonment of the mind. It is no longer being at the mercy of your thoughts, the way that Divine Masculine was over there in his side of things with this Nine of Swords in his heart space. Rather, it is leaving behind a time when you protect yourself from having what you want because of the thoughts that you're having. And the thoughts you're releasing, I'm feeling, have to do with this niggling thing in the back of the mind. This is the Two of Cups in reverse. It's got a very twinny energy there. And Divine Feminine is no longer trapped by thoughts of relationship. She understands that was a clever way of protecting herself from disappointment in pursuing other things that she did desire to do, but was afraid to do them, whether for money or whether she would have the support to do it, or whether because she was comfortable where she was and didn't want to risk being uncomfortable. Whatever it was, she focused on relationships in order not to see, not to be fully aware of the behaviors in her life that were preventing her from having success on multiple levels. She looked at her inability to have success in relationships as her biggest issue, but it was actually just her biggest distraction. The good news is she's learned the lesson, because the 5 here, which is about something that's a temporary block, is the Hierophant, which is about tradition, authority, vows, commitments, higher level learning, and the spiritual journey itself, and also ascension. Divine Feminine has learned about sacred union. She's learned about these limiting beliefs that kept her stuck in place, and how she was trying to get from others what she needed to give to herself. And now she's thinking about the 6 of Pentacles. A feminine who feels worthy of receiving what she's giving doesn't take less. And when Divine Feminine realized that she kept taking less because she didn't feel good, because she didn't have those passions developed within her, she didn't have the career that really made her feel satisfied, she didn't have any other interests that weren't about whether or not she had a partner for a while, or believing that she couldn't really reach her full potential until she was in some kind of a union. Learning that lesson the hard way, because 5s are hard, right? Learning that lesson the hard way, she's now in this present moment, not in a mind state where she is accepting any breadcrumbs anymore. She is looking at the fruits, and if they do not look plentiful, and it's not a material thing in terms of finances, it's like if the whole package isn't present, if only half the package is there, she's really not interested in it. We're getting then this 5 of Swords, which actually came out today in the reading for TikTok. The 5 of Swords is a card of mental conflict. In this particular image, we have this angel who is reaching for these 2 swords that have ended this life, and these 3 swords here, which is the heartbreak. This is a card about walking away, being defeated, and it's the mental conflict that has prevented her from being able to transition to the 6 of Swords, where you get to move on from the hurts that you suffered. She's actually been struggling, still thinking a lot about the past. The next card that's coming up is the 3 of Cups. That is what's clarifying this Hierophant energy. This is the sacred union, celebration, reunion, but it's also about third-party energy. It's about someone being between 2 other people, or something being between you and the thing that you desire. And this could have been a past marriage that she had herself, not necessarily that it was someone else's, but maybe even her own. It could also be this past behavior being like not serious enough, not taking herself seriously, not believing she was worthy of being chosen. This is the spiritual lesson that has been learned about sacred union itself. And what's coming out next is the Ace of Swords, and it is in its reverse. And it's showing us that in the past, she was not honest with herself. She was not honest with herself about what was going on in her situation. She had a hard time looking at the picture and seeing that she was being breadcrumbed by someone. And she keeps being defeated in her headspace by continuing to see this old storyline of this person who is not faithful or not choosing her or is addicted to something and can't come forward and tell her the truth. And that old story is what she's been holding on to in her headspace, but she's trying to release that old story and release that story, which is this 9 of Wands in reverse, to no longer be defeated by this isolation. Good morning. Hello. This is a collective reading. If you'd like a personal reading, you can click the links below. So she's really very much looking at this mental conflict that somebody was not making a decision which was hurting her, and realizing it was her that wasn't making the decision. Like, she wasn't choosing to leave isolation. She wasn't choosing to date other people. She wasn't choosing to have fun or tune into joy. And it was always a choice. It was always a choice. And that's what the mental conflict is about. It's knowing that somebody did these things that hurt her, but that she chose the person. She chose to focus her energy on the person. You are in control of that. You are not at the mercy of your thoughts. You are choosing your thoughts. You have thoughts, and then you entertain them. And if you entertain thoughts that keep putting you right back in the same place, you're right back in the same place. I don't do free readings on YouTube outside of this 2-hour collective free reading that I do. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can click the link below. Or you can try to catch me and Grace Strega on Saturday or Sunday. We do an hour of round robin free readings. Otherwise, I don't give any free readings anymore. Sorry, I can't afford to live that way anymore. But this reading will have a lot of information in it. So just listen and sit back, and I'm sure you'll get the messages that you are seeking because you were brought here. So thank you for that. And thank you for those of you who click support on my website. You can become a member for $3.33 to have access to more readings like this one. And also there is the Spiritual Nourishment course, which is available there too, and my music. So go and check that out. Okay, so that's the Divine Feminine headspace. Let's now take a look at the heart space. The top of the deck for the heart space is the 7 of Cups in reverse. So I like this because she's not feeling confused. She's feeling like she's got clarity. And combining that with this 8 of Swords in reverse in the headspace, she's choosing not to protect herself from her success by blocking herself with these thoughts of relationships constantly. And this, I just lost my train of thought. The 7 of Wands, and that's a lot of sevens. We got the 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands. We got 7 of Wands over on the masculine side as well. So, and it was the feminine with the 7 of Wands, and now we're seeing a masculine energy. So it's really mirrored. But what we see her being really clear about, she's not protecting herself anymore from her success in her life by staying constantly focused on a relationship with a masculine energy who is claiming this permanent love and affection for her, but blocking and being defensive and not actually coming forward, being guarded. She's no longer focusing her mental energy on energy like this. Instead, she's standing up for herself and choosing herself and putting her guard up against any energy that doesn't reflect back what she knows very clearly. Like, I had a Hinge conversation last night. This person, they were attractive, started talking to me, and I was like, okay, well, where would you take me on a date? What kinds of things would you like to do? Didn't really have an answer for me. And then messaged me again this morning, and I was like, just to clarify, I am looking for somebody who reads a lot of books, wants to go to the gallery, and wants to take me to fancy restaurants multiple times a week. Is that you? And the person's like, the only thing I read is my video game dialogue. And I was like, chill. That's awesome. I respect that. I just know that's not what I'm looking for. Like, you're super cute. Go have a fun time with somebody that's looking for that. I'm not looking for that. Bye. It's so clear. It's so clear. And her guard that's up, it's not actually a negative one. It's like, I want a permanent love connection. You see how he has love tattooed on his body? Hi. She's like, I want a permanent love connection. So I am not at all interested in you if you cannot meet me where I'm at. If you don't read books, honey, why are you talking to me? Okay. I'm going to say words to you that you're not going to know. And if you're not a curious person that's like, hey, what does that word mean? And you're not interested in learning, then I'm not interested in you. You don't have to know everything I know, but you have to be curious and you have to want to learn about the world. And we need to talk about things. Like, listen, I said last night to my friend, I think the problem with these dudes is that they think that I think more of their dick than they do. Yeah, I don't. I don't need an actual flesh one of those. I have way better functioning ones that aren't attached to a big baby that wants to nurse from me until they feel better about themselves. I don't give a shit about your tool, dude. You think your tool is very important, but I don't need it. What I need is my intellectual equal. I need somebody who can spar with me and make me laugh. I need somebody who's going to, want to receive and give love and affection. I need somebody who wants a permanent connection, a long-term connection. I don't want to Netflix and chill with you because there's really nothing you have that I couldn't get or give myself. And I'm not going to give you my very precious energy or my very precious temple. You can't enter here unless you're worthy. And you might be worthy in and of yourself, but if you can't match my energy, we're not on the same level, period. And you don't have to have every single thing in common with me, but I've got some basic things that I'm clear about. Must read books, must love art, must have a creative outlet, must know how to emotionally process. Do you have those things? You don't? Okay. There's somebody who does, and I'm definitely not. You're not going to be happy with me either, because the whole time that you're sitting there talking to me about your fucking video game, I'm going to be on my phone looking for intellectual stimulation. And you're going to be like, wow, she's a bitch who doesn't pay attention to me. And I'm going to be like, wow, he's super boring and doesn't have anything interesting to say to me. So why do you want to be with me? For my body? Okay, well, I don't give that to anybody except for somebody who is going to treat it like a sacred temple and then think that I'm a goddess and think that my mind is as beautiful as my curves. So Divine Feminine is clear and we like it. The Hierophant here is being clarified by the King of Wands. It's the female king, though. Divine Feminine is like, oh, are you not going to take action? Okay, well, I've learned that I have a balanced energy inside of myself, that I am my own King of Wands, like I just said. I can purchase them on Amazon if I need to. So I got it covered. I don't need another person to make me feel empowered, to make me feel like I can go after my dreams or do what I want, to make me feel sexy or stimulated or have an orgasm. I got it covered. In this day and age, we, as feminines, we have an advantage, and normally we don't. So it's kind of nice to acknowledge this. Our advantage is that we have had to embody masculine energy in order to survive. Masculines have not had to embody feminine energy in order to survive. They have been encouraged not to. So we are more comfortable taking care of ourselves, and they are not. And the thing is, because we can meet our needs and they can't, we're now in charge. It's now our turn to be like, I'm sorry, You're not likable? Bye. Not only am I queer, so I can actually find a divine masculine energy in a lot more places than you, but I also embody it in myself. And so I guess you thought that your wand was going to be really important to me, but I have my own and it's bigger and it never gets soft and it doesn't have to slow down so that it doesn't impregnate me. And it probably has an attachment that handles the other part of me too. So Divine Feminine is feeling herself literally capable of what she needs. If you're catching my drift, which isn't at all subtle. Here we have the Six of Pentacles. And it's being clarified by dun, 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 the Three of Pentacles, which we saw over here for the Divine Masculine, who's definitely changing how he's thinking about things. Divine Masculine the whole time is like, I have to do everything by myself. Also, I'm just going to gamble all my money away, have meaningless, pointless sexual relationships, abuse substances, and then wonder why I'm not likable. He's changing that. Now he's like, oh, I'm going to do things in partnership because doing things by myself didn't work because I never developed the other part of myself to feel like I was balanced. And I kept searching for a feeling of wholeness through all these other mundane things of the world that don't make me feel whole, when all the time the wholeness was inside of me if I would just feel my fucking emotions and express them. And you got to feel a little bad for him, but only a little, because he chose that. But it was a path that was easy to choose because it's the one we're told to choose, the way that we're taught to behave together. But Divine Feminine is only willing to work in partnership with partners who put in as much as she does, period. Are you going to put in as much as me? No? Okay, cool. There was another Hinge guy that he talks to me like once every 4 days. And I said today, hey, bro, I know you live in Riverside, and that's really far away from Los Angeles, and I don't have a car. So are you thinking that you're going to come out here a couple times a week to see me? Because that's how much I would like to see a person that I'm dating in order to get to know them. And I definitely don't want to talk to them every 4 days, and say really things that don't even deepen any of the connection. Are you planning on doing that? And there's a ringing silence. I'm like, okay, nope, all right, well, unmatched. It's just so easy to do because Divine Feminine's like, not planning to put a return on what I would put into a connection. Not worth my time. 5 of Swords. This is so fascinating because Divine Feminine is feeling this 9 of Pentacles energy. She is looking defeat in the face and being like, excuse me, first of all, what is meant to be is going to come back to me and pathetically beg for my attention. Number 1. Number 2, I have everything I need, like I've been saying. I've got my own ability to create abundance and prosperity and to enjoy it. I indulge my senses. I take care of this temple. I look astonishingly amazing. I'm handling my material pretty fucking well. And I'm single and I'm turning down a lot of suitors that are indecisive and don't seem to know themselves. And so eventually I'm going to get what I came out here to get. Whether the masculine shows up or not is sort of not my issue, which is why in the back of my mind, I don't give a fuck about this. Twin. Or whatever, soulmate, whatever. 3 of Cups being clarified by, I just got vertigo all of a sudden, the Star, which we saw 3 times today. Twice coming out for the masculine energy. Interestingly, I chose my non-binary decks for the masculine today, which is honestly a more balanced kind of a feeling over here. And there's a lot of color that's coming out against that black and white deck that I chose for the headspace. Divine Feminine, the Star is coming out for this 3 of Cups because this is what we've been hoping that we have healed. We've been hoping that we have healed connections that include anybody but ourselves. We just want to be autonomous and free. And we want the other person that we're with to be autonomous and free, but to consistently choose one another. And this is what Divine Feminine is truly hoping, that she is healed within herself. And this Ace of Swords in reverse is being clarified by the Queen of Wands. And that fiery energy that we're in right now with this Aries season energy, this is holding her vision, not letting these old thoughts take her off of this new path, which is this vision of herself as worthy of exactly what she is willing to give to someone else, worthy of receiving that in return. This is what she's holding this vision for. And she's very magnetic and very powerful and very spiritual in this energy. And this Nine of Wands in reverse, these deep wounds that have been healed so that she can finally come out of her isolation, they are in regards to emotionally unavailable masculine energies. These King of Swords energies that are constantly in their heads with their own dark thoughts and refusing to express honestly, truthfully, or directly any of their feelings or emotions in a very distorted way. She has healed this within her, and she is holding that vision of somebody who has done the same. I want to say, based on the masculine's energy, ending with the star, the hope, and the healing of the distorted masculine, the commitment to working on this, to changing his ways regarding third parties and regarding working in the 3D in partnership with feminine energy. And honestly, working with the other feminine, probably if he has family with that feminine. But regardless, he does look like somebody who has started to tune into his emotions and feelings, healing the inner child and transforming that energy. So there is the potential here for another union cycle to occur. But remember, when we as readers are talking about union, we are talking about spiritual union. You're welcome, Michelle. I'm seeing your comments. We're talking about spiritual union. And yes, it is possible for spiritual union to reflect externally physical union. But if that is what is most important to you right now, it is unlikely to happen. It is much more likely to happen when you are not seeking physical union with anyone in particular. Like, you can be dating, you can be open to having a relationship, but if you are seeking a one specific person return to you for you to be able to come into union, it is highly unlikely that this current cycle is the one that you are going to come into union on. I want to say that because I feel like we get disappointed when we hear readings that talk about union and it doesn't happen in the way that we expect it to. You also have to understand that this energy doesn't just reflect back from the twin. It is reflected in your relationship with your parents and your siblings and your friends. So you might be in separation from someone in your family or in your friend group, and you might come into union with them, but you might not think about that as union because you're focused on coming into union with this one person for a love relationship. The feminine who is in this reading right now, the feminine who I am reading about today, the one that is on the timeline who would be able to come into a union, is not focused on partnership solely. She has other things going on that are equally as fulfilling and rewarding, and she doesn't think a whole lot about partnership outside of, it will be fun, I will enjoy it, I look forward to seeing who it is. I'm curious about it, I'm excited, and I'm interested. There is no longing, there is no yearning, there is no focusing on it, looking 1,000 times a day at the person, imagining being with them every second of the day. In fact, she probably just affirms that the people who come into her life are all the things she is wishing, hoping for, and she holds the space for experiencing that in all of her relationships. That is the only type of divine feminine who is going to come into a physical union and stay in that physical union in a healed and healthy relationship. If you don't match that description yet, don't panic. The fact that you're here means you're probably accelerating into this place much sooner than if you weren't. But I want you to embrace that it is never, has never, and will never be about coming into physical union with a person. It's not. And it also will never end. Once you come into physical union, let's say you do, let's say you are a rare person who is in that final stage of spiritual development, you are now ready to come physically into union with this rare specimen who would we consider your twin, quote unquote, whatever, soulmate, whatever. Let's say you're there. Now you're in union. Do you never have to listen to a tarot reading again? I hope truly that you don't have to listen to tarot readings about what your person's going to say, because I hope that you found somebody that's expressive like you are. I hope that you're not going to have to go listen to a tarot reading to find out if they're having third-party stuff, because I hope that you have healed your focus on third-party interference and you don't believe that anymore or have that as part of your storyline. Like, I hope that when you listen to tarot readings, which you will still have to do, it's going to be about all the other things. And even in the relationship that you have with that person, there will be some things that you will probably need insight about because you will be reflecting on your own spiritual journey. We're all at different stages. But if you embrace the stage you're at, you can do the work you need to do. If you think you're coming into union and you're delusional about what state you're at spiritually, it's going to take you a long time. If you're like, shit, I know that I can't make a lot of abundance from my passion right now, and I have to work a job I don't like, and that doesn't feel good to me and isn't really my long-term feeling, my long-term plan. And if that is going on, that's got to be cleaned up for the twin or the soulmate relationship. If not, you can enter into a karmic one that's going to help you accelerate your progression into that version of yourself. But it is not likely to be this fantastic dream-like fantasy that you've been hoping it would be. I just want people to face that to a certain extent so that they can learn how to change their thoughts and create that beautiful life that they want, instead of constantly feeling like they're missing these opportunities to do so. Let's go back to the masculine side and quickly run through all the oracles. We're going to look at the archetype that the divine masculine should focus on this week, the spirit guide that's going to help him do that, the mindset, the spell work, timing and release energy, work he needs to do, light work he needs to do, and an animal spirit guide, as well as his theme for the week. And then we'll do the same thing for the feminine side. Divine masculine, embrace this Don Juan energy this week. This is spotlighting your positive, seductive qualities. If you're wanting to sweep in and give this really unpleasant information to the divine feminine, but also tell her, despite my financial obligations, my inability to really feel my full financial potential at this moment, or that was the reason I didn't communicate with you, which is super lame, and so you're probably annoyed with me. If whatever this shocking information you're bringing is a little uncomfortable, you might want to tune in to your positive, seductive qualities as you give it. But remember to stay in the light and not going into the shadow, which is using the power of romantic attraction for your own private agendas. So stay in the light attributes. Just be charming while you're saying these unpleasant things. Your guardian angel is here to support you with blessings of abundance. Now, this is interesting because this card fell out of my deck and then I couldn't find it on the floor. I was like rolling my chair back, like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And it was really far back on the ground. So it was like, this, I feel like you feel this is so far away, and your guardian angel is like, this is only an illusion. I was right here on the floor, but it seemed like I was really far away. This guardian angel is helping you understand the abundance you have right now, because you really got a lot of thinking about that lack that you are presenting with. And your guardian angel is like, no, we're gonna learn gratitude this week, bro. You're gonna learn massive amounts of gratitude. How many times did I say this today with the star card coming out 3 times? I must have said it 3 times. Hope is the conduit for miracles. This is the mindset that will help you this week. It's yellow, like me. It is positive. It is yellow like the sun, which was the last card in your reading, Divine Masculine. Hope is the conduit for miracles. Hope transforms our thinking. When we think, oh, this won't happen this way, hope is, it could. Yeah, but it's not really likely. But it could be. I mean, you can hope that it does change. It's always uplifting you from facing the reality you don't want. Don't face the reality you don't want. Take a temperature check of it. Don't ignore it. Be like, oh, that's my bank balance. Okay, well, I want to change my thinking about my bank balance today. And then hope that you can transform your behaviors. Like I don't do free readings anymore. I'm transforming that behavior. This feeling that I felt that I had to do free readings in order to, I don't know, for people to still view my readings. What do you mean? Of course, they're still going to view my readings. It's never been my job to give people free readings. I just felt like I couldn't charge for them. Well, then I guess I won't be able to do the job of my dreams because I need to get another job to support myself since I refuse to receive abundance from the gifts I've been given because I felt guilty about it. Or like what? What did I feel? Oh, I guess I felt like I didn't want to be successful. People kept telling me, you're so gifted. You're incredibly psychic. You're so accurate. What you're saying is very helped me. What you said transformed my life. And I'm like, yeah, that has no value. Thank you. No value for that. That's that. I just know I don't need to receive any sustenance or survive. That's okay. Thank you for stopping by. No, worthiness. This is the ritual work that would behoove you this week. Ritual work having to do with well-being. All is well, affirming well-being is your birthright. Like your body is constantly trying to enter into that homeostasis, constantly returning to that healthy state, that natural balanced state. And doing things to support your well-being, doing a ritual. Change your morning ritual. If you drink coffee or you drink tea or you do something, include something that supports your well-being with it. Take more supplements, take fish oil and ginger, anti-inflammatory supplements, or make your coffee more supportive. Use ingredients that are going to help your well-being, and do these things in a ritual way. Do cleansing baths, Epsom salt baths, do your meditation, take part in your spiritual journey and unite it with your mundane everyday life and make well-being part of your whole experience rather than just something, oh, did you hear a hawk? Rather than just something you do once in a while. And this card is reinforcing it. Meditate and contemplate. It is the new moon in Pisces energy. So this is definitely this 4 of Cups energy, but meditate and contemplate. In fact, I would pair these together and say that your ritual work would probably be meditation this week. And then you're getting this light work card. Dance with life and do something to change your energy. That coming up here with the Wheel of Fortune card, the card that indicates change, and this card being in reverse, this is making that move. You need to flow with the energy towards your desires, which is to swiftly come in and communicate directly. So do the dance. You've been sitting on the sidelines watching. You've been a wallflower. Come out and join the dance, like join the party. Do something to just change that stuck energy you've been in. And Spirit, time to collaborate, coming out with that 3 of Pentacles for both you and the Divine Feminine. So this is definitely a time of collaboration for you. Let me give you the message from Ant Spirit. This is the one card also, which is like magician energy, co-creation. When Ant Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build the life that you desire. Listen, I don't know how many of you are going to watch this video. It's usually around anywhere from 50 to 100 people. All of you should be meditating this week. If you're not meditating and you get to next week and you're like, I don't know why, nothing really changed. It's because you didn't do something to change your energy. And you're literally, your guides are like, hey, meditate. Okay. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. So if you want to meditate with me, maybe we can agree to meditate at a certain time of day together and just say, hey, I'm going to start my meditation, and then touch base with each other after we are completed with the meditation. If you want to do that with me, I'm so down to do that. I will post myself in my stories, and you can comment that you're going to meditate with me, and then we can communicate when I'm done. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it, whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you. Everything is working to support you right now, and I have discovered that that is true. So ask for help when you need it. Divine Masculine, your theme for this week is the Ace of Wands. Get your sexy energy under control, sir, but give yourself what you do desire, what you truly desire, not pale comparisons, but the actual thing. Also, you things seem to think I care more for your tool than you do, and I just don't. Just so you know. Okay. Anyway, Divine Feminine, it's your turn. Let's go. We've got Damsel in Distress coming out with the Prince in reverse. This is your archetype this week. I don't even need to read these cards. I could. It says, understanding the nature of healthy romance and inspiring you to rely on yourself. And the shadow attributes of this is using power for self-aggrandizement. Okay. This is the masculine showing up with a bouquet of flowers and saving you. Work on it. Work on this energy this week. You are not a fucking damsel. You're also not a knight that has to swoop in and save the masculine from the big bad karmic bullshit he put himself in. Who saved you? Who did you get to rely on while the masculine was off sowing seeds? Who was there for you? Making sure you were okay. Providing for you emotional processing, material well-being. Who is doing that? Okay. You're not a damsel or a knight, and you don't need to be. St. Raphael the Archangel is here to help you with healthful eating. I'm doing pretty well with this. If you need support with food in any way, there are two options. You can contact me directly for personal custom sessions. I will be more than happy to meet with you on a regular basis and support you with intuitive eating and changing history of the thinking about eating disorders, along with a therapist, because I am not a therapist, but I will support you in that journey. Alternatively, there is my spiritual nourishment course I've mentioned twice today. That has a lot to do with tuning into our taking care of our temple and nourishing ourselves spiritually and materially as well. So if you're interested in that, that's available. But you can just pray to St. Raphael for help with this. He helps with marriage, relationships, soulmate energy, and taking care of the body, health, and hi, Jermaine, And I just lost my train of thought. Oh, like he's usually for like doctors and nurses and healers. He's like the saint that you pray to for that type of stuff. So get in on that Saint Raphael energy. You can do a novena, which is a 9-day prayer to Saint Raphael, where you just say the prayer once every day. Maybe you can do that for your meditation work. The mindset that you need to cultivate, and it's hard for you because it was in reverse, is the universe has my back. That is coming out with, there is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. So these two mindsets coming out together, because you have to believe that there's nothing sexier than your authentic truth, and that you're always being supported by the universe in revealing that truth to others. The star came out a bunch today. It's all about revealing what is hidden, honoring our gifts, what is authentically true to us. The universe has aligned that for you. So it has your back. You are able to express your authentic truth this week. Please do it. Please embody that. This is so funny. If you follow me on Instagram and you saw the filter I chose for Aries season today, this is even more profound, because literally I lit myself on fire. I'm wearing this, bright colors today. I didn't even think about it. And I'm like, oh my God, so Aries. And I got like the long earrings out. Like I put my hair, this is like my sister is an Aries, and it's like really playful. I've got blue jeans and Las Vegas flip-flops on right now that I got at the CVS in Las Vegas that Sid bought for me. Like I'm Aries as fuck today. But this is the type of work, what I just described to you, my look, my orange citrine earrings here, my bold feeling. This is the ritual work you need to do. You might want to do some fire magic or candle magic. This is passion. There's sex magic in there too, tantric practices. Tune in to the sexy truth, right? About you. Be passionate, be bold, be fiery, and be sexual, honey. Like that energy is on right now. Like divine masculine feels it. Like look at it. Look. Get in on it. Then you're getting that Scorpio energy haunting me to my death here. You're getting these two release cards, the new moon in Virgo and the new moon in Scorpio. Interesting energy, earth and water. That makes mud. A time to give rather than take, and working through your fears. So I do think that you are afraid of masculines who are going to take from you. That is why you have your guard up, and you're just being told, release these fears that somebody is just going to take from you. You are going to be able to give equally in this partnership that you are manifesting. So work through these fears that you're not going to get what you put in. If you are constantly engaging with an energy who doesn't give you what you put in, stop doing it. If you keep engaging with somebody who doesn't reciprocate with you equally, stop doing it. Then that will be true. Then you will not be with somebody who takes more than they give. But if you are currently allowing somebody who takes more than they give to interact with you, you are enabling them to continue doing that by telling the universe that you are okay with it. So stop. I was told to yell, so sorry, but that's a problem. This is in reverse. It's kind of similar to the masculine. Get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. A call for meditation for you, and to go out into nature and to get grounded. Really, really get grounded. Come out of the fantasy land where the person that you imagine is going to suddenly one day reciprocate the same way you are. If they just, I don't know, what is it? If they just what? If they were just completely different? Oh, okay. Well, that would mean that you don't love them the way they are now. You love them if they would conditionally do things for you. There's conditions for them to be loved. When you love somebody, they are how they are, and you don't need to possess them, and they don't need to give to you, and you don't feel like they're taking, because you don't give a person who doesn't give back more than you're going to get. You send them love. Peace. Peace in the Middle East. I love you. You're spectacular. You're fantastic. I have a vision of you healing and being whole, and it's amazing. Call me if it happens, and I'll see where I'm at. Because I'm not living in the fantasy of future potential. I gave that up. I'm in the now. Here's Lion Spirit to help you. Be generous of spirit. Now, the Six of Pentacles is also about generosity. But this also for me is you receiving that generosity. A healthy ego means you, and definitely ego issues come up for sure during the Aries season. A healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Lion Spirit's appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of pride and a healthy sense of your worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. This is, again, that authentic self coming out. You are both the king and the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom, and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride. I hear you, babes. I hear you. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in ways that educate, heal, inspire, and delight. Be proud, yet humble. Practice gratitude, and you will find that the accolades that come to you are no match for the joy of knowing what you have been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. Lion Spirit knows there is a great savannah before you, and many who will benefit from the healthy expression of your unique set of gifts. If you choose to work in partnership with Spirit, that Three of Pentacles keeps a come and back. All your relationships flourish as you express your worth and generosity of spirit with humility and kindness. What a blessing you can be to all. Love that. And here is your period. So surrender that ego that we just talked about, that Lion Spirit card. Now remember, the Lion Spirit is the spirit that will help you do that. That's what these cards are for, to show you who's got your back, right? The universe has your back, and here's some of the guides that are helping you. Saint Raphael, Lion Spirit. We've got guardian angels supporting with abundance, and the Ant Spirit. Those energies are present within you right now. The Chariot is about moving on, pushing on, moving forward. It's about balancing the two parts of self so that you can work as a team. Partnership is such a big thing that I'm really drawn to thinking about how this team has to work together or this doesn't move forward. So work with energy, not against it. And you are working against energy if you are giving it to somebody who is not giving it back to you. You're working against the flow. You're putting all of the energy here into relationship at your expense. Don't do it. Put up the healthy boundary. Say no. You're like, oh, but this person has a lot of pain and I want to help them. Great. I love that you want to help them. But you can't. They have to help themselves. You are not a damsel and you are not a knight. And you're not meant to be either thing. You just are meant to be authentically you and do your own thing. Do your own work. The person who matches you comes forward. It's not a mystery. They say, I love you. I want to be with you. And then they do it. It's really easy. It's so easy. We tell ourselves, oh, relationships are hard. No, they're not. Not when you are ready for them. They are not. They're easy. And you are ready for it. So accept an easy one and take your focus off the one that's not. That one is not meant for you. Okay, we are at the final part of the reading. Please go below and click the links. You can catch me 6 days a week on TikTok. I'm here on YouTube at least 3 days a week doing readings 2 times for members. And then, of course, these Monday readings that I'm doing for the collective. No more free readings, but if you want to catch me on Sunday with Grace Strega, we do a round robin. That's the only time that I will be offering free readings. Other than that, I will be available on TikTok a few days a week for $11, $22, and $33 readings that are available there. If you have any questions about any of my services, if you want to work personally with me, there is a spiritual initiate program where you can just work with me on a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly basis. And there is savings and packages and stuff that you can help with your budget, etc. All right, just to clarify, because this came up for some reason, I had someone book a $33 3-card spread. When you go to book those readings, please read the descriptions carefully. It says right on that 3-card spread that it is a pre-recorded reading. The $33 and $44 readings are pre-recorded. All other readings currently, for a limited time, you can get as virtual or in-person readings. But the 33 and 44 are always pre-recorded, just to clarify that. And if you would prefer the hour and a half or the 2-hour reading to be recorded, then just let me know. You don't have to have it virtual or in person if you don't want to. That some people prefer to have a video so they can watch it again and again. But I just don't want people to think that anything below the $111 price is virtual. It's not. It is pre-recorded. Okay. Let us complete this reading so I can run to the support group, which is just here on my phone, so I don't have to run far. But I do need to take Bowie out. So we're going to do this quick and dirty, like Dirty Day, the song that came on from YouTube today. And the other song was Bite the Apple by, I don't remember, the Rainbow Team or something. Go check it out. It definitely was Aries as fuck. Okay. Healer. It was disco, and it was like, no, it was like, stop talking. It was literally like, no more talking. Just bite this apple, bitch. Like, I was like, okay, Aries, dancing, disco song. You are both in the light attributes right now of the healer. You are embodying this energy, and this energy is going to help you this week. This is a passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and the ability to help transform pain into healing. Beautiful. You're both the healers, and you're in the light of it. And you're not taking advantage of those who need help, and you're not failing to care for yourself, and that's beautiful. And then look who your spirit guide is this week. Love and God. This is the creator. This is, all things were created from this desire to have a connection. There was nothing. And the consciousness was present in that nothing. And it was that nothing. And it wanted more. It wanted a way to know itself. How can you know yourself if there is nothing? And so it created light. Like, that's the origin story from almost every single culture. 10:33 on the clock. And that's the energy that permeates all things. This desire to have connection, to be able to see itself, to know itself through these reflections of itself. It starts with perfection, realizes that perfection is limiting. There's no nuance. There's nothing new that comes from perfection, because there are no happy accidents. So it creates then something that has free will and the ability to stumble, so that it can stumble upon itself over and over and over again. Every version of self, every permutation, every deviating thought, from the very dark to the very light-filled, from Mother Teresa to Ted Bundy, all experiences, all reflections. I am. That's God. This is the mindset that you must work on this week. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. That makes me cry from what I just said. And also because for the feminine, she had to believe that her dreams were being supported. And for the masculine, that hope is a conduit for miracles. And that hope is the belief that your dream, right? The hope is your dream, believing it's supported. And the union of those two things is that there is a stream of love supporting what you hope for. This is the ritual work you should do this week. Beauty. Mirror work. Affirmations in the mirror, affirming your beauty inside and outside, the light that is within you, that people can only see the light if you let it shine, right? That's the meaning of when you keep who would take a light and then put it under a bushel basket? You don't take a light and cover it up. You need the light to see. If you don't shine your light to other people, they can't heal themselves and they can't be healed. They can't feel seen. You need the light. That's the first thing that came to be. Literally, our DNA is light. We are light beings. So do ritual work with the mirror, with affirmations. Do your hair, get your nails done, take care of your skin, take those baths, like put lotion on your body. Take pictures of your body, look at it, say that you love it, do that hard work. That is going to really pay off. That is going to increase your love for one another. See yourself through the eyes of Source, which means see yourself the way your partner sees you. Look at your body that way. Think about how you see them compared to how your friend sees your person. Your friend probably thinks your person looks like an idiot. You're like, oh my God, look how dreamy my person is. And they're like, it looks like an idiot to me. Do that ritual work. This is your release work. Nothing is yet set in stone. You get so fixed in your thinking, and you're really needing to release fixed thinking, attachment, release it. This does not serve you. Things are not set in stone. Your person is not set in stone. It's not. If you think it is, you're limiting yourself. You could be right, but you could be wrong, right? Pascal's wager. If there is a God and I did all the shit I was supposed to do, I'm good. If there is no God and I did all the shit I was supposed to do, I'm still good. If there is a God and I didn't do the shit I was supposed to do, I'm fucked. So you might as well do the shit, because doing the shit that's good for you, is ensuring that if you're wrong, at least you covered your ass, right? So if you're wrong about the person that is your twin, and you're focused and fixated on one single individual as your soulmate or the person you're meant to be with, and you're wrong, you will be seeing my readings for a long time and wondering why union isn't happening. Nothing is fixed in stone. It's mutable. It's like the ocean, right? It's there, it's constant, but it's constantly changing. Your light work is to embrace this awakening. This is energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. So this is a beautiful, beautiful energy. You are both fully awakened and you are being upgraded. Cat Spirit is here to claim your independence. You're not going to like the theme this week, and I don't blame you. All right, let's see. Your message is, when Cat Spirit meows, she is calling you to claim your independence and allow for some space between you and others in your life. Before I finish reading this card, I'm going to show you the theme. I'm just the messenger. Please do not shoot me. It is the Hermit. The only way you can grow in all your relationships now is to have a healthy sense of self-respect and self-worth. When you walk with dignity, knowing who you are, self-aware and willing to grow, trusting the value you bring, the world will mirror all this back to you in kind. When you say no to codependency and enmeshment, live and let live, and practice taking risks as you wander into new territory for you, Cat spirit rejoices. She is here to urge you to let your independent spirit roam free. For the masculine energy, this is forgetting about the opinions of others that have kept him from offering his pentacle. For the feminine energy, this is about awaiting a specific pentacle and needing that pentacle in order to feel complete and being codependent upon receiving it. Removing yourself from the attachment to receiving that offer because you are aware of how many offers you actually have access to in your 9 of Pentacles energy. Reclaim your power from a specific person, divine feminine, and then be able to receive the offer from the masculine energy that is reclaiming his power from the people in his life and going off and striking off on his own to go after what he dreams, that hope that's in the star, that's contained in the lantern, that you don't put under a bushel basket. So do you see how these two things come together and we tie it up like a bow? And this is why union is possible. It's a beautiful energy. Thank you so much for being here. I got to run real quick because I got to run downstairs with my puppy. Make sure she's got 20 minutes outside before we start group. If you are in the spiritual nourishment course and you have not contacted me to tell me that you are going to be there, I won't know. And so you won't have the link that you need. So if you want to be there at 11 o'clock this morning or in the next 20 minutes for wherever you are, please DM me or email me or something. Because as of right now, the people that are going to be on the call all have iPhones. So we're going to use FaceTime. But if you do not have an iPhone, then we would have to do Zoom or something for you. So please let me know before we get started. Otherwise, you have an opportunity to join the Spiritual Nourishment course and join us for a support group, which isn't just about spiritual nourishment. It's a support group for general support on anything that you might just need to talk about, be seen and heard, etc. You can do that by signing up for the course on my website. The link is below, and you can watch a video about what the course entails there too. Thank you so much today. Have the best day. I shall return next week for you. If you're a member, I'll see you Thursday and likely Friday. And then, of course, you can catch me in Grace Rega on the weekend. Yesterday's reading was a hoot. There was a ton of manic laughter going on. Definitely check it out. It was a really beautiful reading and super lots of fun. It is on Grace Rega's Instagram page, GreyStrega. Thank you so much, everybody. I shall see you all very soon. Take care.